Yeah, yo, folks. Welcome to the latest and the greatest from the Yonko table. That is the voice of Grandmaster Hoop coming at
Recording
you
in
from
progress.
You can keep going. You can keep going.
coming at you from I don't know, the middle of the desert, Las Vegas. How about the middle of a dumpster fire? Because that's right, folks. We're here to talk about Venom, the Last Dance. It is the third entry in the Venom series that is part of Sony's greater Spider-Man film series. And goodness gracious, we're here to talk about Venom, and yeah, and all of its gloriousness. With me, as always, is Dr. Jace Attorney. Dr. Jace Attorney, aren't you sad to see Venom go?
Memories bring back. Memories bring back. Da, 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 da. See, I got emotional in that scene, and I know you did too. I know
Nope,
you did too.
nope, sure didn't. Sure
You
didn't.
wanted more Venom.
Definitely no. Supernova Dr. Mondo's in the house too to spread some Venom hate here. Dr. Mondo, Venom, Tom Hardy. You sad to see this on-screen duo make their final run here? Eddie, I wanted to see Lady Liberty, Eddie.
What a dumpster fire
You
of a
know,
movie.
the more we do those Venom impressions, the more I realize it's really not that hard to do.
It's not that hard to do, but like, yeah, this is a dumpster fire of a movie. But I will admit, I just
Hard
had fun how
to do.
laughably bad this
It's
was.
not that hard.
I was laughing at the scenes that I shouldn't be laughing at, that I'm pretty sure they were there to evoke emotions in me, and everything I just felt was just like, this is shit.
I think if anything, just well, see, y'all laughed. I was asleep. When I say I was legit asleep for a majority of
But
the
you fall
movie.
asleep with every movie. That's not
Yeah,
That
really
is not
us.
true. That is not
That's
true.
really not even a bar to be met.
That
Like
is a
you
bar
even fall asleep in good movies.
because no, this is a bar because there are times where I will wake up halfway through the movie and stay awake for the rest of the movie, and I only have missed a portion. This movie, I've missed significant portions throughout its entire run, and I cannot
But I think
attest
that
that
speaks more
to
of a problem to you, not the movie.
no. The movie,
I think
this
you got
movie
a
was
problem.
boring.
You sleep.
You got a
You sleep
problem,
in
man.
any movie.
This movie was boring. But again, I say it's boring, but this speaks to a bigger issue here, and that bigger issue being
In the room.
I think Sony just is living in this constant state of denial. Let me ask you this. Do you know where the title The Last Dance comes from?
I actually don't.
Anybody?
Enlighten
Dr.
us.
The
Jace?
class is quiet. Just go ahead.
I gave you a chance. I didn't know if you knew or not.
It's a rhetorical question. You know you're gonna
It's
answer
not
anyways.
the point is okay, so The Last Dance is based on the title of the Michael Jordan Chicago
Oh,
Bulls
got it. Okay, no,
documentary.
yeah, okay. I thought there was like a comic book influence because I was
Yeah.
like, Last Dance, I've heard that before 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, if there's any other reference to The Last Dance, I don't know, but that documentary is highlighting Michael Jordan's career and the Bulls teams that had the 2 3-peats in the 90s,
Okay.
which, that's a great title for that run for those teams. And they went on to win championships 6 times. And Venom 3 comes out and says, we're calling our swan song The Last Dance, which would imply
that it was good to begin with.
well, that
The
this is
prior
its
ones
third
were.
win. This would be its third win.
I mean, if you in the realm of Hollywood and making films, if you got to your third film, if you got to the end of your trilogy, not a lot of films can say that they got to the end of their trilogy. Jupiter's Ascending. What was that? What it was called? Jupiter Ascending.
Oh my
Right.
God! Why are you
That-
Jupiter Ascending?
I
What a
am-
random.
I am giving
Cool.
you. I'm giving you random ass movies that were meant to be long running film trilogies or long-running film franchises that never even got a sequel or never even got to the third film. Jupiter
Well,
Ascending.
Fantastic Four, the last one that they did, they like pretty much they scrapped off any
Fanfortis. What is it?
Oh wait,
Fanforstic.
Fan Four Stick. Yes, Fan Four Stick. That one. The one with
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan. It only got
like
to
that
one.
was a bomb atrocious that they literally like scratched it completely.
Like, I need you to think about how bad movies can be to where those companies that make them, they're like, nope, we're not doing any more. In comes Venom. That somehow got 3 fucking movies. 3 movies. Now, mind you, I'm gonna be fair about it. Venom 1, I think you can get away with. I think you can get away with. Personally, to me, it's still a bad movie. It's still a bad movie. But I think with Venom 1, it's fine. It's fine. That's serviceable. Serviceable. And I can understand where someone might lose their shit with Venom 1. Like, oh my God, this is the best superhero movie I've ever seen. But that is where my praise ends with the Venom movies. It ends there with Venom 1. Once you get to Venom 2, I say enough is enough. Enough is enough.
I disagree. I think that post-credit scene in Venom 1 where Woody Harrelson comes out and says, if you let me out of prison, there's gonna be carnage.
Yeah, it was cringe.
I'm out. I don't even care for a second movie at that point.
That was the
That is
straw?
the finishing line of that movie.
So wait, before that part, you were on board with a potential
No,
Venom
I was
2.
never on board. But if there was any more reason to jump off the train, having sat through that near 2-hour movie, it was that scene. I have never heard such a blatant display of just like, it wasn't cool. Who wrote that line?
Tell me how it's any different than I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative.
Oh, completely different. Completely different.
I don't. So
Avengers.
If it's not MCU, it's bad. It's bad.
Avengers is an actual team name. That is a team name.
Carnage is the name of a character.
No,
like,
Carnage is not.
Like
Carnage,
no, like you could have said, I'm putting together a special team.
Listen,
and you could have left it there.
Carnage does not get the name Carnage until he bonds with the symbiote. That was dumb. And that is a pure reflection of the stupidity that runs around at Sony. This has to stop. This has to stop.
Grandmaster's putting his foot down.
He's has to stop. All right, listen.
No, you want everything to revert back to MCU Marvel Studios.
It should revert back to Marvel.
No.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. I'm 10 toes down with this. I already said it about the Penguin. I said villain-led films and series are conceptually not a good idea. Venom is that made in spades.
No, but Venom, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because I really don't know that much about the Venom comics. But Venom is like an anti-hero at some points.
Venom becomes
an anti-hero.
He becomes, yeah.
Guess what we don't get in the movies? We don't get his
so
evolution.
He pretty much starts off as an anti-hero right off the bat in the movies. He doesn't get the villain arc.
Exactly. Eddie Brock was a dick before he became a decent person.
Venom changed him.
When you do this here, where you take out the quintessential arc that makes Venom, we get this. Oh, Eddie, I want to eat her. I want to dance with her, Eddie. Eddie, what is this? We have entertained this for too long.
I just gotta say my imitation is a little bit better, but yeah, continue.
No, you can have a fine imitation. I don't care to imitate. I firmly stand.
Oh no, like you're preaching to the choir. Like you're preaching to the choir. Like the entire 3 movies are absolute crap. Like it's the first one at least. It's like it's a fun. It's a bad movie that's pretty fun. The second movie is atrocious. That
The second one, they said, let's do whatever the hell we want.
No, the second movie's atrocious. This movie's atrocious, but it's like this movie I think is worse than the second one because like this one's atrociously laughably bad at certain points. Like it becomes a laughing stock.
I feel like Jesse from Breaking Bad with these movies, referring to Sony, they can't keep getting away with it.
but they are.
But
they are.
What is it about Venom in particular that lets them keep getting away with it?
Well, let's talk about it like this, because obviously Venom's not the only problem with the string of Sony Spider-Man franchise characters, but Venom is the reason why they fund the next. Look at the timeline. You ready for the timeline?
Yeah.
Venom 1 comes out
2018.
2018. I think next up after Venom 1, I think is Venom 2, right?
2021, I think.
Right. Guess who funds Morbius? Whose money goes into the Morbius production? Venom 2.
2's, yeah.
Well, I guess this theory doesn't actually work, but I guess Venom 2 brings enough money to also fund Morbius and Madam Web.
Awful.
Yeah. Wow.
God awful.
Now Venom 3 and Kraven, when Kraven comes out, I guess they're gonna fund a fucking Null movie. Because I don't know where they're going with this.
Null is their Thanos.
I get it. I get it.
But this was God.
Huge problem.
Like
Huge problem.
This was awful with what they did with Null. How are you going to, like, I don't even want to make the Thanos comparison, because I know what you're talking about with the Thanos comparison, where it's like you show Thanos in the beginning of Avengers 1, and then you show him then again in the post-credit scene to hint at a future film with him. But the sub-villain in Avengers 1 was Loki, who was an actual character. We don't get that here. We get Null, aka Thanos, in the beginning of Venom, this one, Venom 3. And who's your sub-villain? You don't get a Loki in this movie. You get generic spider creature number 39.
No,
who the hell is this?
It's the creature from Geonosis on Star Wars Attack of the Clones.
No, you know what?
Wow, it is. Wow. Copyright.
You know, this is like very similar when it comes to that. And even Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League, like non-director's cut, non-Snyder cut.
Oh, people are gonna come for you for that.
No, in the sense that like at least they had like one villain there, although it was a horrible villain. But this one is like, yeah, you just put a generic spider creature, and then out of nowhere it's like more appear. And then it becomes like actually not that hard to kill them. It's like,
it was hard to kill. Well, I guess.
Yeah, but doesn't he just like slice off the head? Did it regenerate after they sliced off the head with the helicopter blade?
No, that one was dead.
No, that one came back. It's very poor editing throughout the entire film, so it looks confusing a little bit. But the one that they sliced the head off, it did regenerate in the background in the third act. So they all kept coming back no matter what. And that's why none of these scenes felt impactful. Whenever they cut the head off or blew one of them up, you're like, well, I mean, it's Majin Buu. It's just going to come back.
Let me point this out. These dudes in the theater next to us pointed this out, and I thought this was like, wow, you're absolutely correct. The gimmick is Null needs the codex, right?
Right.
And those creatures can only track the codex when Venom is on screen. So the movie does this back and forth the entire film to where they say the best part of the film, which is genuinely Venom. I know the movies are bad. You can find enjoyment in Venom as a character. The movie shoots itself in the foot. It says, we got to get Venom off screen.
You got to limit Venom.
We gotta limit Venom.
We got
No, and you know what else I found super dumb? The concept of the codex.
I don't get it. They lost me in the first
No,
5 minutes of the movie. I was like, I don't get it.
The codex, it only originates if the host dies, but the symbiote regenerates or revives the host that it was attached to. And basically
sense.
by fusing and becoming a singular being. Which is just like, wait. So you're telling me that the codex could pretty much pop up to any freaking host? That was just like, it was so specific that I was like, wait, what? Not even that Venom was like the holder of the codex from the planet and he was sent over and he had this mission and maybe like something happened that when he fused with Eddie, he lost his memories. That would have been even more believable and enjoyable and interesting. No, it's like, oh, Eddie, because I saved your life and because I revived you, we have the codex.
Let me just say,
so dumb.
Just the inclusion of Null just makes me honestly think they didn't actually have faith in this third entry for Venom, that they needed some grandstanding villain to really draw people in to a third outing, because I mean, that's what the second one was. They said, oh, if we bring in Carnage, people are going to come. Right. And people are going to come flocking for Carnage. People have been dying to see Carnage on screen. But when, I honestly don't even remember how that movie ends, but I'm pretty sure Carnage dies.
I think he dies. Like there's no like, oh, he's alive somewhere. I think he dies. Like,
right. So when he dies, who do you have left? Because guess who you can't put in these movies?
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. Negotiations.
Where is he? Where is he?
They couldn't negotiate. They couldn't negotiate.
I don't think it was ever on the table. I don't think it was ever on the table.
Honestly, I just gotta say, one of the biggest ass pulls. Spider-Man No Way Home. Eddie Brock is in the MCU. And in the first 2 minutes of the movie, they shove him back into the Sony.
Well, they did that in the right in No Way Home already. They did in one of the other ones.
I think at the end of Carnage, at the end of Carnage, he ends up in the MCU.
He ends up in the MCU, and then I forgot what MCU film it was, but he got sucked back again in one of the MCU.
It was No Way
films.
Home. It was No Way Home.
Okay, yeah.
So this is just the scene from No Way Home.
Does he get sucked back in again? Because I know he appears in the post-credit scene. I just don't remember if he gets sucked
This is a redone
okay,
of the
perfect.
scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's still so funny that it's like one of the biggest ass pulls, because it's just like they never talk about it again.
Well, it's not only an ass pull, it's self-referential humor, because I don't know why Sony fights so hard to what they really said in that moment.
You know why they fight hard with this.
Listen, this is what they said in that moment. They said, we don't need you. We don't need the MCU. We can be successful on our own. Financially, sure, these movies do bring in money. Have any of these films crossed the bill? No.
I don't even
Sony
think
Sony is, stepping up to the big man and saying like, I don't need you.
I don't even think it's really them going that hard with it. I think they're always at the talking table to get their characters into the MCU. And then when they're finally there, like they did with Eddie Brock, they start pitching these ideas of what they want to do to Kevin. And, they're saying, we want to do this. We want to have the Codex be a thing in the next one and blah, blah, blah. And I'm telling you, I think Kevin and our Lord and Savior, Bob Iger, listened to these pitches from Sony and they're like, take them back. Take him back. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. And they're like, but we already put him in the MCU. He's already at the bar in Mexico or wherever he is.
So far removed from the rest of the going-ons in the MCU. They said, we're going to put him in Mexico. in
He's
Tijuana,
there.
and he's there.
He's
He's
there.
there.
And then like, I don't care. Have him get sucked back. Have him get sucked back. Mind you, in that movie, they did leave a piece of themselves around with that little micro thing of the symbiote in the bar
Yes,
in
but
Mexico.
so yes, they did leave that.
That
and
was
that
their footnote. That was their footnote in their contract with reintroducing Eddie into the
But that-
MCU. They're
that
like,
only
okay,
matters-
we'll take him back, but we're leaving this. We're leaving this. We're always gonna revisit it at some point. You can't use Venom unless you
and
address
see,
this.
That's what I was gonna say. It only matters if they actually revisit it, which I
don't think they
highly
will.
doubt they will. Right.
But
right.
I think that's their footnote so that they have to address it if they want to ever bring up Venom again in the MCU. Because I think they're leaving that there as like, hey, this is our mark of Venom in the MCU. It's too late. He's already here, so you can't ignore this. We'll take Tom Hardy back and have our own little shit fest with Last Dance. But if you want to bring up Venom, you got to address that symbiote in Mexico.
I 100% believe they're not going to bring it up. I think
I don't think they are, but they
Well,
put that there to do it.
the
Dr.
separation is
Dr. J,
real.
that is literally like the definition of that little blurb of Venom in the like that they left in the MCU. It's like a booger that they're just gonna scrape off that table. No one's gonna think about that booger.
I was gonna call it like a hemorrhoid or a dingleberry. You know, that turd that's like you want to get it out, but it's just hanging there by a thread. So it's like, damn it, just let go. Let go already.
They will never relinquish these rights, and it's one of
Never.
the scariest notions in the world to think how they have such a grip on the Spider-Man franchise and characters. But an even bigger FU too to the overall MCU. Look who's in this movie.
Oh,
Chiwetel
yeah, Darren
Ejiofor.
Yeah,
Wait, who? Wait, start over?
Chiwetel
like when I
Ejiofor.
saw that, I was just like, "What the hell?"
Say it again one more time.
Baron Mordo from the Chiwetel Ejiofor from Doctor Strange. Baron Mordo.
Mordo. I remember Mordo.
Oh, you don't. Oh, another black character you don't remember.
I said Mordo. Mordo.
It's okay. A trend is being set.
What are you talking about? I even told you in the theater when I saw him. I'm like, yo, look, it's Mordo from Doctor Strange.
You said, look, it's Otto Hightower. Who's the lizard?
Correct.
Which
the Amazing Spider.
and see, here's do you see the issue here? You have Baron Mordo, who I don't know what you pitched to this man who's been nominated for an Academy Award.
I think he won an Academy Award. If I'm not mistaken.
No, he didn't win for 12 Years a Slave. Debatably, he should have. But
that was him?
You know.
Yeah.
Wow. Phenomenal.
The point is, Baron Mordo, I think, is a better role. And he's still alive in both iterations in Multiverse of Madness, his multiversal version, and his, Earth 1999 version. And yet he comes over and does this film to play a generic, military personnel.
Oh, wait, this is the multiverse, he can be multiple people at the same time. It's kind of like Robert Downey. It's like Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom after Iron Man died.
Exactly.
Not the same at all.
And say his name, General Strickland.
I didn't remember his name.
I was asleep. See, I don't remember anything.
Listen, the difference between RDJ though is that RDJ's playing two really cool characters.
Oh no, okay, yes, but overall, it kind of boils down to the same. Am I saying it was a good idea? No, it was a horrible. Like when I saw that, what are you doing here, man?
And then he doesn't do anything cool in the movie.
He doesn't do anything. He's just like, we gotta kill him.
Do you remember how he went out? And I'm pretty sure
Dr. fucks it over.
I'm pretty sure Dr. Jace laughed at this part when the acid was raining down.
Yeah.
Oh,
and he was getting hit.
And he pulled the grenade and blew himself. Oh, I started laughing. And that's what I'm talking about when I said I laughed at the scenes that
That
were
words that
not
you were not supposed to laugh
they were
at.
not made to be comedic in any way. It just the timing of it, because he didn't know what he was gonna do and the acid was falling on him. I'm like, yeah, what's he gonna do? And he goes, take a boom. And I just started laughing. I'm like, why did you do that? I mean, it was so funny. It was so funny.
I mean, it just highlights that I don't think the writers, I'm not even sure who wrote this one, know what they're doing nor care. Nobody cares
it's
anymore.
it's a paycheck. It's a paycheck.
This is a paycheck. They were just like, well, we're out of ideas. Let's make Venom dance with Miss.
Oh my gosh! Actually, Tom Hardy is credited for writing this one.
Oh,
Him and
Tom
the
Hardy.
director, him and the
Oh.
director Kelly Marcel are credited as the
Tom
writers.
Hardy. Tom, what the hell were you doing?
There was a fun fact. Who was the director of the first one? The first Venom?
Ruben Fleischer.
He was supposedly going to direct the second film, but he had commitments to Zombieland Double Tap at the time. So that's when it went to Andy Serkis for Venom 2. And then I guess as per tradition, they're like, oh, well, we give it to any director at this point. Give it to this guy next. Have him write it. Have him write the third one. I don't know.
Well, Kelly Marcel is a woman.
Yeah.
But she helped write Let There Be Carnage. She's the sole credit for the screenplay for Let There Be Carnage. But actually, her and Tom Hardy, yeah, they wrote both Let There Be Carnage and The Last Dance. Shit, I take it back. She did the screenplay for the first Venom too. So she's had her footprint all throughout this Venom franchise.
This is her baby.
The director.
This is her baby. Venom is her baby.
As it should not, though, be.
It's
like
leave Venom at the fire station of Marvel Studios and let them take care of him, because this ain't it.
No, I was just like, what the hell? Like, there's some scenes that just like took like this scene. Honestly, I was laughing at this scene because it was like, this is so ridiculous.
What is this?
It's like, I don't know. It's like, it's like, we can transform. Boy, they want to dance. I want to dance. And then it's like, and Tom Hart and like Eddie Brock is like, how did you practice this? It's like, there's so many problems. Also, Tom Hardy making a reference to himself. It's like, ooh, Eddie, you look so sexy, like you're the world's hottest man. It's like, I have been the sexiest man. And I was like, are you serious that they just did
Yeah,
this?
that was such a weird, like, out of universe reference. Like, they're
very meta, but it's like,
you're not Deadpool. Like, why are you making a crack like this?
It's like, wait, so you're referencing Tom Hardy right now? It's like, what the hell? Like, you're not supposed to be meta.
It's like for whatever reason, assuming this film came out before Far From Home. If in Far From Home, Tom Holland as Spider-Man went to Italy or France, wherever the hell he was, and he's like, oh man, we're in uncharted waters now. And it's like, come on, like, for what? Why? Like, you're not that character. You're not that dog. It's no, I don't know why he made that.
Well, I think it's Venom in these movies just trying to be something they are not. They add in their Thanos level threat. They, make meta references throughout the film, and just everything else, the way it plays out is just, there's nothing truly, I think, special about, well, in particular, this film. I guess one of the gimmicks here was the Venom animal switching,
which they didn't even do anything with.
I mean, it was really one sequence.
It was one sequence.
It was like the horse, then it was the fish, and then the frog, and that's it.
I remember they showcased that horse in the trailers, and that was like the big, like, whoa, he's gonna take over like other things besides Eddie. And what you saw in the trailer with the horse,
is exactly what it is.
That was it. You don't get anything cool with the horse. Like, maybe he has to fight other symbiotes or other aliens.
It ran fast.
It was like Sonic. It was like Sonic.
Like Sonic.
It landed with tentacles.
No, and there were
Terrible.
also
That's cool.
and there were also some really useless, absolutely useless characters in it. I'm just gonna say it. Teddy Payne, she does nothing in the
Oh,
entire
Dr. Payne. Yeah.
Dr.
Oh, didn't
Payne.
they give her backstory too?
They gave her backstory,
When
which
when thunder roars, head indoors. No, Billy.
but it's like she does nothing the entire except at the end that she has the pink thing, boom, and that's and then oh my god, I'm fast, and then she recovers her arm, and you're like, oh my god, wow. She does
was
nothing.
terrible.
She does nothing in the entire movie. It's like what? Like she's the most useless character in the entire movie.
They try to give her a character arc in that she was the the scientist that wants to care for the research. She's there for the data. She doesn't care. Everyone else be damned. Who cares if we risk some lives as long as we get the research data in. But
Yeah.
I don't know. There were some scenes where I'm laughing at scenes that I'm not supposed to be laughing at. Where when they were chasing Venom, Strickland and his men, I think this was after the part where they got into the river and they ended up killing some of the soldiers.
Like the monster kills them, kills the
Right,
soldiers.
it kills some of them, and then Strickland gets mad at Dr. Payne and is like, I lost 3 men to that thing. And immediately in response to that, she says, but did you get samples? And I started laughing.
I know,
there's no cohesion, no flow to the dialogue. And I'm like, who wrote this? Who writes this? This was ass, man. This was total ass. When I heard, I started laughing. I mean,
there was also
laughing.
Eddie 2 killed somebody, and he was supposed to have a whole emotional kind of response.
Yeah, I guess Eddie's never directly killed someone before in the
but
prior
I'm like,
Venom
but
movies?
it's okay. I was like, it's okay though when you're Venom and you bite people's heads off, right? That doesn't count. That's not you.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Venom,
yeah.
right? The part where you say, "We are Venom."
Venom!
So that's
Venom!
just is it both of you, or is it what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
They do this gag in the beginning of the movie with the animal ring people with the dogs, and they do the "We are Venom," and it's not in sync, and I'm like, wait,
and they never do it again.
Well, no. I that was done as a gag, but I'm like, wait, didn't they do this joke already in like the other movies? And I think they did. I'm like 90% sure they did this whole thing where they're like, they're supposed to say "We are Venom" in sync, and then one of them says it before the other one, and they keep going back and forth. I'm like, no, you can't be doing this. You're recycling jokes now. You're recycling jokes.
It's the same people writing.
I'm God, secondhand embarrassment. I'm sorry. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it.
And I don't understand the entire thing throughout the movie. Eddie Brock continues losing his footwear, and it's like, is this supposed to be a
weird? I noticed that too. I was like, what?
It's
what
like this
weird
stupid gag. It's like, oh yeah, the dog bit off my Crocs, so I put on these boots. I'm on the plane. I have we skydive from the plane. I lose my boot, and
you know what's crazy about those dogs? Those dogs, there was like a pack of like 6, 7 of them, right? And when the dogs went outside, you have this big ass alien crawling on the ceiling, or I'm sorry, on the roof. The dogs don't do anything. I'm sorry, a dog barks at like a car driving away like 5 miles from a distance. You're telling me a pack of dogs, wild dogs, are not gonna lose their shit when an alien is just crawling like out of nowhere? Get out of here, man!
Those dogs saw the alien. They were like, "Yo, bro, what brings you here, man?"
That's it.
You good? You good? Nah, good.
There's just so many. And like apparently, right. So the gimmick in this movie, like we said earlier, was that the aliens needed the codex. They wanted the codex, and the only way to track it was when Eddie,
Venom was on.
yeah, Venom is on, like he's full on, fully Venom, and it felt weird that whenever he activated the Venom, like you know, full Venom mode, the alien was there instantly. Instantly.
Yeah, like no time.
Like no
zoomed.
time. It just blitzed itself across like God knows how many miles. I'm like, there's no way. How is this happening?
And you want to see and like to that point, you know, the alien is blitzing through hundreds of miles. Yet in the final fight sequence, where Eddie's like, I will distract them on a freaking motorcycle. And
somehow
and they can catch
them.
him. It's like, if that alien can blitz through the entire desert to get to freaking Las Vegas in a second, you like, how can it not keep up with a motorcycle?
People are gonna say, "Oh no, they just use portals like the one Noel sent them through," and I'm like, "No, what? They didn't show it. They didn't show it. They didn't show it. Every time those bastards went to chase someone, they would run all the time."
Also, Eddie, and remind me, because it's been a long time since I saw like the Venom movies. Eddie, when he dies in the first movie?
Couldn't tell you.
I believe
the first or the second movie.
I believe in the first one he dies.
Then what the fuck? Why do these aliens not appear in the second movie?
Because they weren't thinking that far ahead. These movies
they were not building up to Noel at all.
No, Noel does not have a build up. The only one they actually were building up was Carnage, and they honestly, I think this movie actually highlights. There probably was a negotiation breakdown that did not happen, or negotiations fell through.
Yeah,
because the way Venom 1 ends, it builds into Carnage. The way Venom 2 ends, it plays into No Way Home. Venom 2 came out in 2021. They both came out in 2021, right? Mm-hmm. Fast forward to 3 years later.
Yeah, like that.
We haven't had Spider-Man 4.
And that connection there, it's like there is nothing. There's no connection there.
Well,
yeah,
I think they wanted to do something.
No, they did.
And ultimately,
there was no build.
They wanted their Venom 3 to be something in the MCU. And I'm telling you, Kevin and, well, I guess not Bob. It wasn't Bob at the time, but Kevin and whoever was there from Disney.
Chapnick.
Chapnick, sure. Chapstick. Take him back. We don't want him. And now it's like, oh shit, we still got to make a third movie.
Well, Chapnick doesn't sit in those meetings.
Kevin tells him to go back then. And he's like, well, what do we do? What do we do now?
Well,
and this is what you get. This is what you get. There's no build up to no, but they're like, oh man, we had these grandiose plans for Venom in the MCU. But now that he's not, now they have to somehow pull out an ass pull and say, no, fine, no, stamp it. Go, send it out. Send it to the press. Print it.
That's it. That's exactly what happened, because they said, who could we use in a Venom movie that would rival kind of the attention that Venom and Spider-Man would get on screen together. Yep. And honestly, I think they're dumb to think that Noel is on par with Spider-Man. Noel is very niche. Comic fans know Noel. The average comic book movie fan, I promise you, have never heard of Noel.
I think it was out of desperation and not really it wasn't like they themselves believed that he's on par with Spider-Man. It's just like, damn it, who else are we gonna use? And I think there are elements of some semblance of Spider-Man hopefully appearing in some draft of this script. Because otherwise, why are you going to New York? Why? Right. This film is a journey to New York. And it's so blatantly obvious what they wanted to build up to by going to New York. But they can't use that character with whatever deal they have with Disney and Marvel Studios. So they're like, oh man, but we really want to go to New York. If we leave him in New York, maybe something will happen. Again, insurance. That symbiote was left in the MCU as insurance to be like, if you ever use Venom, he's down in Mexico. We left him there, and you have to get to us. And then by the end of this movie, leaving Eddie Brock in New York, they're like, hey, Eddie Brock, our Eddie Brock's in New York. If you ever want to address Eddie Brock, do some multiverse nonsense, but he's right here. He's right here. These guys are jackasses. I absolutely hate them. I absolutely
it's just
hate
like,
them.
you know what? There's a lot of patchwork here, but you know what? If someone else wants to fix our mess, we left the pieces there for you to fix.
Eddie's in New York. Y'all kept complaining. Why is he in San Francisco? Great. Now he's in New York. Are you happy?
There is someone to fix the mess, and it is indeed Kevin. Kevin is a mess fixer. I can give you the credits of the things that Kevin has fixed in the past, but Sony just needs to come off this high horse because enough is enough. Outside of the Spider-Verse films, critically and audience reception, they don't have any winners. It's only the Spider-Verse films. Since in a post-Amazing Spider-Man world, outside of the Spider-Verse films and the Homecoming trilogy, they got nothing. Nothing. We had 2 flops this year. 2.
Wait, what was the second one?
Madam Web.
What was the first one?
Madam Web. This one and Madam Web. This year.
Oh, wait. When you say flop, you mean critically or financially?
Both. It don't matter.
No. Financially, this film's on track to do really well.
Don't matter. Don't matter.
So financially, it is gonna. God forbid they get greenlit for a Venom 4. God forbid, because this is all about money. This is all about money to them. They got money for Carnage. They got money from the first Venom movie. This one, and mind you, this one was doing good internationally. That Chinese market loves Venom. They love.
Yeah, that's why
Venom.
That's why they keep the one character around.
What one character?
The one character.
Venom?
No.
Oh.
Miss Chen. Mrs.
Right.
Chen.
Yes. She's their in. She's their in.
No, I'm just gonna say is that the Venom 4 is gonna be called. It's like, but wait, there's more. That's what it's gonna be called.
Wow, you know what? I believe that.
Like Venom 4. Wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. Venom forever. Venom forever after.
Ew. Stop.
Just like Shrek. Wow, you know what? Just for that, we need at least one more. One more to close it off. He still doesn't have his Spider-Man emblem.
Listen, they botched the whole Spider-Man Venom connection into where anything from this point on is just going to feel convoluted. He's not in the universe, so they have to get him to the universe. He doesn't have Venom, the symbiote. He's got to get him the symbiote. I just don't see it. I don't see it without it. It's already a mess. It's already a mess. What they could simply do is, I don't know. Just I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing.
But I think this all begs the question: is this the worst Sony, like the Sonyverse movie?
I still haven't seen Morbius.
For me, I say yes. If we're limiting it to the villain Sony film, so we're talking Venom 1, Venom 2, Morbius, Madam Web, and this. Oh man, I threw in Madam Web in there.
I think Madam Web is worse.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that the reason as to why this movie's not my worst is because there's some parts that are so bad, but it's enjoyable. Like, so, because it's just like so bad that you just laugh at it and you have a gas and you have fun with it. And it
Yeah.
kind of become like a guilty pleasure. This movie
It's
can become this movie trilogy, and including this one, can be a little bit of a guilty pleasure.
what I can
From
say.
Webb, there's nothing redeemable about that
Yeah,
movie.
what I can say with certainty is that this is the worst of the trilogy.
Oh yeah, this
one
is the worst of the
easily
Venom
the
movie.
worst.
But
Um,
Madam Web, there's nothing, absolutely nothing redeemable with that entire movie.
They look good in those costumes.
for
They're
all the
like
5 seconds that you
for
see it,
5 seconds.
Still look good.
I was still in the Amazon rainforest when my mother passed away when she died. whatever the phrase
No,
is.
it was like he was with my mother in the Amazon rainforest while she was researching spiders. Yeah,
They don't got that in Venom.
no, like this entire like Madam Web. Madam Web is the worst.
I think they're all equally bad.
No. There's tiers to it. I mean,
There's
they're all
tiers.
bad. They're all bad, but there's like levels.
There's
There's
layers.
levels.
There's levels of.
Because
I have one level. I have
No.
one level. None of them should exist. That's my
Oh,
level.
I agree that they should never exist.
The-
And hell, I'm gonna go even further. They should give us our money back for seeing this crap. It's like
how dare they? It's insulting.
it's like it's that bad. It's like, like you're wasting my time and my money. Like these movies
Yeah,
are really
no.
bad. But like Madam Web, I was like in that movie theater, like, wow. I was about to walk out of the movie.
I didn't fall asleep during Madam Web.
Yeah, because you were gooning.
And no, I don't even know what gooning is. I'm not Gen Z.
That's what most gooners do. They don't know what they're doing. Is
Okay.
that Sydney Sweeney in
No.
a Spider-Man outfit?
They look great in their costumes.
They did look great in their costumes. Their
That's why
costumes
you
were
were
cool.
away.
Why aren't you saying
Their
that
co-
about Tom? Say that about Tom now.
What about Tom?
Say he looked great in his symbiote CGI suit.
We have. Oh, I thought you meant Tom Holland.
Do it for one.
They're
of
both
them.
TH. Wow, I never realized he's also a TH.
That's why he got
Tom Hanks, Tom Hardy, Tom Holland, Tom Hiddleston. There's too many Toms and H's. The Venom, the character looks cool, but he will always just be a white spider missing Venom.
I don't like the white veins that he has on his
I mean,
body.
they're there to elicit that, though. The white spider.
They bother me. I thought by the third film, it's like, listen, we've been dodging it for 3 films already. Y'all gonna get the emblem. You're gonna get it here.
You don't get the emblem without Spider-Man.
And I'm telling you, there's a I want to read that first draft of this movie, because I promise you they had such huge ideas that they wanted to do, but whatever that deal was with Disney x Marvel Studios, it just didn't happen. Kevin said, "Get out of my office," and so we got this.
They don't meet at his office. First of all, they meet for lunch.
Like
It's,
Grandmaster said, the word, like God has spoken. Leave.
His God has spoken. The Bible
No,
is
it's
written.
Kevin who has to go to them first of all. They own Spider-Man and all of them, so it is him who has to approach.
Now here's the thing too.
Actually, Bob Iger did seal the deal with No Way Home. That was Bob Iger.
I believe it. Bob Iger's our savior. I've been saying this for years. So.
The Iger Initiative.
The Iger Initiative.
And he wasn't even. I think he had Chapnick just came in, and Tom Holland sent an email to Bob Iger, saying thank you for everything. And
you know what?
Bob Iger responded.
You know what's crazy about this movie and its trilogy? The more I think about it, I feel like it's a time capsule from how superhero movies used to be in like the 2000s, early to mid 2000s. Because you look at your Daredevil, your Fantastic Fours, your Catwomans, where
how they live in a bubble.
They live in a bubble. They try to insert pop music in there from the time to stay relevant. The script is ass, the dialogue is ass, the CG is ass, and it makes me and also the rating. Some of the ratings for the characters for like the film itself, it's like, wait, you're gonna make a PG-13 Venom? Venom, the guy that bites people's heads off. The scene in the beginning of the movie where he bites the cartel members' heads off,
There's no blood. There's barely blood.
there's no blood. They made it purposeful to not even show the biting of the heads. And I'm like, why? What are you guys so afraid of? What are you so afraid of with this guy? Why bother making a Venom movie? Why bother making a Venom movie? It's screaming early drafts of Deadpool 1. When they were trying to pitch Deadpool 1 as a PG-13 movie, and I think Ryan Reynolds was like one of the key factors in that and trying to make it rated R. It's like, listen, you're going to make a movie about Deadpool, but you want it PG-13 to reach the widest demographic of people? No, it's Deadpool. What do you mean?
Right.
They don't listen.
Kids will find a way to sneak into an R-rated movie. It will happen.
It's so ridiculous. And then Craven. Is Craven rated R? Craven's rated R, I think, right?
I think Craven will be rated R, yeah.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy that they give Craven the rated R treatment and not Venom for 3 freaking movies.
Craven will most likely be rated R because it had a red band trailer. So only movies that have a red band trailer
usually are
rated R. Yeah. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. I'm pretty sure part of the contract to keep the Spider-Man characters involves having to put out they have to put out a Spider-Man movie every X amount of years. And I don't believe the animated films count. It has to be live action. But again, they're just trying to compete. Everybody's trying to compete with the MCU. That's what a Spider-Man, the official term is Sony's Spider-Man universe, which is wild because
they're not, it's not including the Spider-Man movies in that.
It does not include the Spider-Man movies. That's the stupidest thing I have ever heard. That's like making imagine the Godzilla King Kong movies and they said this is the world of Godzilla and King Kong.
And they don't include Godzilla and King Kong.
We get a Rodan movie. We get a King Ghidorah movie. We get a Skullcrawler movie. A Mothra movie. Guess whose movies we don't get?
Kong and Godzilla, yo.
That's stupid.
That is so
That is stupid. You cannot call a Spider-Man film universe a Spider-Man film universe without Spider-Man. How many ostriches? It's that ostrich bit from Prince of Persia. You can't have an ostrich race without ostriches.
We love Prince of Persia.
We don't.
Part of me makes me wonder if in an alternate timeline, what would these movies look like where Amazing Spider-Man took off and did well financially, and Sony went forward with doing all these other spinoffs that they had. They've been had these spinoffs planned as far back as Amazing Spider-Man. They wanted a whole ass universe for themselves. You had the Sinister Six movie in the pipeline. You had the rumored, I don't know if it was ever confirmed, but the Aunt May movie. Grandmaster wanted to see that movie so bad. He's like, oh my God, Aunt May perspective. I can't wait for that. I remember. You could deny it all you want. You can deny it all you want. You wanted an Aunt May movie. And because you wanted an Aunt May movie, we got this garbage. We got this garbage now.
I am not the problem. I am not the problem.
And who is?
The problem is just Sony. Sony won't let go. They won't let go. Amazing Spider-Man only happened because of that deal. They had to put out one, and I guess it was every like 5 years because there's a 5-year gap between Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man. Spider-Man 4, Sam Raimi's one with John Malkovich as the Vulture, fell through the cracks, and he said, I don't want to make this movie because it's ass. They rebooted. If the idea of reboot wasn't a thing, Marvel Studios would have Spider-Man now. they would have them.
Sony knows the grip Spider-Man has on the
Yeah, like
zeitgeist for
Sony
comic
doesn't know when
books.
to let go because the memories are too strong.
Oh my God. Oh, that was a terrible montage. How are you
See,
gonna montage flashbacks to scenes in the movie that I just watched? Like, what are you
Because you
on?
already forgot. You already forgot.
Clearly, you
so.
did. They did that for you because people like you fell asleep. That's why they had that movie in there. That's why they had that bit. Oh my
Maybe.
God.
Maybe. Well, I listen. You're not gonna evoke any emotions from me with that Maroon 5 song. By far, I believe that might be the worst Maroon 5 song there is.
Wow,
And
probably.
Maroon 5 and Venom do not go together. I'm sorry. They don't. They don't.
Memories bring back.
That was worse than the Spider-Man Gwen Stacy. Oh, I will do it for you. For you.
Oh,
And he
the
puts
monster where he's
he,
building.
he,
Wait, he was doing something. He was making something, right?
he's
The
like
web
studying
shooters.
his
The web
he's
shooters.
no, it's in the second one. He's studying his dad's notes and he's like,
For
I lost my
you.
and he puts a
For
sticky note and it says like, I
you.
lost my parents. Do I have to lose you too? Talking about Gwen. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like,
no, honestly, another scene that I was like, just stop. Like the ground control to Major Tom. That was such a long ass scene, so much longer than what it should have.
Which one?
is that them in the hippie van?
Yeah, that's them in the hippie van.
Oh God,
Oh,
what
again,
were these characters,
why
man?
is Riz Ifans here
I
not
know.
as Dr. Kirk Connors, as some random hippie? What about this script said I'm in? I'm in.
There's
I was
I'm
thinking the
telling
same
you.
thing.
I'm telling you, this is what happened. You had Mordo and you had Otto Hightower willing to come onto this when they initially read that first draft. I'm telling you, that first draft was banging, but they already signed on. They signed the contract, and then whatever deal they had with the MCU fizzled
It
out,
fell through.
and they're still locked in. They're like, oh, I already signed up to be on this. Oh
Do
no.
you want to hear how more convoluted it is? Because remember, Morbius brought in Michael Keaton, right?
Yup.
Back as the
Yes.
Vulture, right?
Right, yeah.
And the Vulture was in Homecoming, right?
Correct.
Yup.
And the Homecoming films lead to No Way Home with the Lizard, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know. I know they could play different actors, but
No.
he's technically already in the greater Spider-Man Sony film
No,
universe.
this is a
Technically,
clusterfuck. This is
it's
a
it's
clusterfuck.
the transitive property clusterfuck. Yes, I'm like y'all just don't care. Y'all really must not care.
Yeah, because it's like ongoing contradictions constantly throughout these movies.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, you're here, but you're not, but wait, you are, but no, actually you're not, but maybe you are. And it's like it's like they're trying to make you guess, and you're at the end of it all, you're just like, just shut the hell up, put a bullet in this project, and put her down. Put her down.
I'm sorry, Sally. I gotta take you out back. I ask this right here as we wrap this up soon. Is there anything redeemable outside of the little laughters y'all had? Is there anything redeemable about this franchise or this movie that warrants another appearance?
Like, by that, do you mean warrants a Venom 4 or a potential return for the character in something like
Venom 4 or Tom Hardy being folded in as Venom? Or do they just need a reboot Venom?
I don't know. Like, it's part of me wants to say yes and no, because I could tell Tom is really into this. Like, he's really trying to an extent, but he's got an ass script an ass direction in the movie, and it's
There,
like
everything.
everything is straight ass, and
Oh,
I don't know, I don't know, I don't know.
you want to hear something funny?
What?
I'm pretty sure Tom Hardy chose the Venom films over a sequel to Mad Max, which is eventually why we got Furiosa prequel.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, that is
Jesus.
honestly a little comedic, given the
That's like
quality.
it's
Uh,
like he said, you know what? I don't want to work that hard.
I'm always gonna say Venom 1 has some redeeming qualities. I still think it's a bad movie, but
But it's a fun movie.
it's a fun movie. And for people
It's a
that
fun
actually
movie.
like it, because like you look at Rotten Tomato scores and see it in like the 80s and 90 for the first one, and I'm like, I disagree completely, but I understand. I understand. I
Also, like because the action sequences in the first Venom movie, they're not bad.
I don't
they're
remember anything.
Like
they are serviceable. They are
they're
serviceable.
serviceable. It's
They
like
do a
they're
job.
like cool action sequences. They get the job done, and it's like enjoyable. The movie's not boring. Carnage is atrocious. This movie, it is boring. What keeps you awake, not to you, Grandmaster, but what keeps you awake is that you laugh in moments you're not supposed to be laughing in this movie.
I feel that's not a good thing.
No,
That
it's
doesn't
not.
make
But
me
but at least I'm gonna say, man, at least this movie, I had like a couple of laughs, even if it was because this movie was bad. Where I compared to Madam Web, Madam Web, I was like 15 minutes into the movie, and I was like, oh my God, this
Yeah.
straight ass. I can't wait for it to be over. And like I was really teetering on getting the hell out of the walking out of the movie theater.
I wasn't really laughing at Madam Web, at how bad it was. It was just bad. It was
It's
just
just
bad.
there's nothing redeemable about it.
Yeah. So like at least with the Venom movies, I'm not laughing at the scenes that are supposed to be comedic, but it has bad scenes where I'm like, this is just like really, really terrible. So to answer your question with a half answer, put it in the hands of someone that gives a shit about the character, and I will welcome Tom Hardy back, because it's not the acting of Tom Hardy that's at fault.
You're
with
basically
this.
saying take it out of Tom Hardy's hands because he did the script.
Like that for the acting part. Take him out of the script writing and the direction and everything.
Put someone who knows how to write, who cares about the character, who will write a interesting and I don't know, good story for Venom. And have Tom Hardy as Venom. Tom Hardy as Venom, the actor as Venom, he does a good job, and Tom Hardy's a great actor. So
I'll take him.
Yeah, it's just like just everything behind the scenes with this movie is atrocious. With this trilogy, and yes, it is Sony. I agree with you, Grandmaster. Sony needs to put this idea down.
What do you
want? It's like if you want this idea, if you want to compete with the MCU, that is fine for you to compete with the MCU. But if you're gonna compete with the MCU, God damn it, try a little bit harder.
No,
actually, put some quality out. Actually get sit down in the writer's room and okay, the MCU is a giant, it's an empire. And we got to try to get to the same level or as close as we can. We got we got to step it up. And again, I'm fine with them trying to do that. I'm fine with them. But it's like, if you're dishing out this nonsense, it's like, dude, if you're going to compete with them for this nonsense just give it to them. At that point, just give it to them.
Grandmaster does not want to give Tom Hardy a second chance.
This is what I say. I say this. As my knowledge of the Spider-Man Homecoming deal works like this. This is my base knowledge understanding. Sony retains all the box office earnings. Marvel retains all the merchandise earnings, which is actually quite a lot. They do profit off of that.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for both. And in those deals, so Marvel Studios produces the film while Sony distributes it.
Mhm.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
I don't know why that deal can't extend to the greater Spidey Sony universe. I take it. Sony feels they have their ideas. They're not good ideas, and Marvel won't take those good ideas. They won't take those ideas.
Yeah,
And
and
I say them to this. Well, I say they're smart for, like, if Sony says we want a Sinister Six film, and Kevin says that doesn't make sense, and they're like, if we don't care, it'll make money. There's no buildup. What six are you gonna use? Morbius. Okay, and Craven.
Venom.
And
Venom,
you see,
Venom,
there's
Venom.
it just they Sony could win and keep everything if they just let go of the steering wheel. They can own the car, let go of the wheel. Jesus, aka Kevin Feige, take the wheel.
No, but I think it's like what happens is that Sony thinks, okay, I imagine they're thinking, if we give them, if like we give them these rights in the same, like we open this door, Marvel is just going to continue creeping in, and you're just like setting up the stage for Marvel to just take it over completely.
Yeah, it's just a tug
And
of
it's like
war.
Sony does not want to lose these characters. They don't. So it's like I understand what you're saying. I totally do. And I agree with you that I think that would be what's best for us, the audience, in terms of the quality. I totally agree with you.
But
Sony is never gonna let that happen because they keep opening a door. Marvel's gonna keep on creeping in. Marvel, like Disney's a freaking financial, like, corporate empire.
I need Disney to buy Sony then. That's what Fox did. They said, if you don't give us goddamn Wolverine, we're gonna buy you out.
the thing is, I think Sony knows how much they're worth with Spider-Man, and they're like, it's gonna completely overshadow whatever the Fox buyout was. Which how much was it? It was like 40. Was it like? I know it was in the billions, but like it was in the tens
Yeah, it's
of
in the
billions or
billions.
something.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
and Sony's very powerful as well.
yeah.
So I don't think it's
I need Disney to just buy them.
no,
Buy
yeah,
them.
but it's not as
Buy
simple
them,
as that.
Monopoly.
Not as simple as that.
In the name of these films, 71.3 billion.
Was Fox?
That's how much Fox.
Oh yeah, no. Sony
Sony's gonna
knows
be a
how
lot
much
more.
Spider-Man is. I mean, both. I mean, obviously, just Sony as an entity on its own, plus what they bring in with Spider-Man as a film product. Yeah, it's gonna eclipse that by a lot.
So that's the thing. It's like Sony knows what they're worth. They're not gonna sell this.
Yeah, I know.
They're never
I don't
gonna
need
sell
them to sell. I need them to just let Marvel produce.
But that's
'Cause
the thing.
again,
They're not gonna let it because again, it's like letting a
the
Trojan horse.
deal the deal has nothing to do with them producing though. The deal has nothing. They, as long as they are distributing the films, it's okay. They can creep in all they want. It doesn't break the deal.
No, I know, but it's kind of like a Trojan horse. It's Marvel's Trojan horse, and eventually that's gonna they're gonna get in and they're gonna take
already
over.
in. They're already.
They don't
in.
want to let them more in.
They want to let them more in. They want to keep them where they are.
Their
That's
foot is in the door. They're like, you're not coming in this house. You're not coming in here.
It's like you're in the port.
Marvel produces Madam Web. It doesn't flop.
They don't care.
They don't care.
And they're idiots because they could win and they can continue winning.
They can't let the
because
fans
you have
know
Marvel
what they're
begging
missing.
they have Marvel begging on their knees, eating out of the palm of their hand,
They wanted them to
they
go
could
lower.
continue when
They wanted to go lower.
it's dumb.
The thing is, right now,
They could do that.
that sure.
They could do that.
With this film being the last Venom movie, Sony has exhausted the pipeline for financial successes. What are they going to use to fund their future projects? Because Craven's going to tank. Craven's going to tank. Let's be honest. Especially it being rated
Silver
R.
Sable movie.
There's a Silver Sable movie in the pipeline?
No.
Oh. Yeah, no, they lost. They lost.
They got nothing.
Well,
this
Again,
is truly the last
Venom.
dance.
It's gonna be Venom 4, and it's gonna be. But wait, there's more.
Venom Forever After.
Hopefully not. Hopefully it's done. Hopefully this is truly the last dance, unless Marvel has something to say about it. But we've beaten the dead Venom. We've beaten what is
The
it?
dead Venom horse.
We've beaten the dead Venom horse. If you like the Venom movies, kudos to you. You did it. You enjoyed them. You made it through. We, as intellectuals, do not support. Wow. With that said, Venom 3, The Last Dance, sayonara. Hopefully one day we'll see Venom properly done like this guy on the big screen.
But wasn't this amazing?
We're moving on. We're letting go of this. We wasted how many years? 6 years of our lives. We're letting go. With that said, I think we're good here. Yes?
Yep. We'll see what the cockroach Venom, the Venom cockroach leads to for a Venom 4.
Hopefully nothing. Hopefully nothing. But that's it for us here on the live talking about Venom 3, The Last Dance. Thank you for folks in the chat. Shout out to Ark. Love having you here, Sonic Speedruns. Thank you for stopping by. And anybody else who joined us in the live, thank you for coming by. Again, also thank you to those who are listening to us at home or wherever the hell you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Appreciate y'all tuning in. And of course, thank you for all your support on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, YouTube with DrJaceAttorney. We got a Discord too if you ever want to talk to us there. Check out the link below. But that is it from us here at the Yonko table. I'm your host, Grandmaster Hoop. Fellow Yonko Doctor. And of course, the one and always present Supernova, Dr. Mondo. How shall we end this? Shall we sing that Maroon 5 song?
Do your best. You're cutting in and out.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not, because the drinks.
Well, you drink the memories.
Memories bring back. Memories bring back.
Do, 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 do.